Today I'll be taking The World is Too Much with Us by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is one of the leading poets of the 19th century Romantic movement in England. He, the poem, the present poem is one of the famous sonnets of Wordsworth. He composed this poem in May 1806. It is basically he is a nature poet. So the poem is an expression of his love and admiration for the objects of nature such as the sun, the moon, the sky, the sea and the winds. The language is very simple. It is in colloquial style. He believes that poetry ought to be written in the simplest language of the common people. It is one of the most characteristic products of Wordsworth. The poem exhibits the love of the poet for paganism. Now, the poet is grieved to note the people becoming more and more materialistic. They have no love for the beauty of nature. They devote their whole energy in accumulating wealth. They delight themselves in physical pleasures. They waste their time, money, and energy in frivolous enjoyments. They have no taste for the appreciation of the variety of beautiful aspects of nature. They run after money and physical pleasures. In the eyes of the poet, their lives have no meaning, and the poet condemns their mechanical pursuit of wealth and money in the poem. Their sense of love and admiration for the valuable objects of nature is completely exhausted. So the poet is grieved to see the entire scenario. The poet is also grieved at the growing tendency towards materialism, that he desires to go back to the age of pagans. Pagans were simple and innocent people, completely untouched by the sophisticated characteristics of the people of the poet's age. The poet will enjoy himself in the beautiful atmosphere of nature in the age of pagans. This is he longs for. The poet longs to have the visions of the gods of nature, such as Triton and Proteus. He is even prepared to accept paganism for Christianity for the sake of his love for nature. So, I'll read out the lines and give you the explanation. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. The world is too much with us means we are too much engrossed in the worldly affairs, and all the time we are busy. Either we are spending something or we are getting something, and in this materialistic pursuit we are losing our energy. Late and soon means at all hours, every time. Lay waste our power means waste our spiritual powers in search of material gains. And he says, little we see in nature that is ours. Little we see means we have become so blind to the influences of nature and are engaged in exploiting her resources only for our materialistic gains, and we don't see anything spiritual or anything valuable in nature that really belongs to us. So he is deeply pained to see that his contemporaries were wasting all their powers and time in earning money. They had great power of spiritual elevation and development of the soul, but they wasted all that power in collecting wealth and spending it in wasteful pleasures. In earning money and spending it in and out of the season, they wasted all their power. They do not find time to appreciate the beauty of nature. They did not claim any kinship or any relationship with nature. They had completely bartered their hearts and souls with mercenary bargains. They had been without the finer feelings for nature, higher values of life. It was certainly a dull bargain in which his contemporaries were engaged. The sight of the grand sea laying open in the glare of the moonlight night now does not attract us. The wind that would be making horrible sounds howling during the day are calm and quiet at night, but we have no time to appreciate their beauty. We have no sense of appreciation for such a great beauty of nature. We are always busy with the materials pursuits of life. So this is, in the first stanza he is, pained to see that the world is too much with us, means we are too much engrossed in worldly affairs, and late and soon every time, we are busy, either we are getting something, we are earning something, or we are busy in spending something, and in this we are laying waste our power, and we hardly see anything, any spiritual or guiding force. Nature is a guiding force, but we hardly see anything in nature that is ours. Now he says, we have given our hearts away, a sordid boon, this sea. Now given our hearts away, bartered the parts of heart for petty gain, means we are busy in petty gain. Sordid boon is very mean, base, unworthy. It is the gift of commercialized civilization. Bears her bosom. Now he is talking about the sun, and he has personified the sea as a woman, as a female who is exposing her vast bosom, her heart, to the silver light of moon and its attraction. So he says, look at the beauty of nature, how, the sea is exposing her heart to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. Up now, howling means roaring. Upgathered flowers, lulled to sleep with all the energies withdrawn into themselves like flowers, faint and folded and become birds again. During evening time, the flowers, most of the flowers, they become again birds, and then they bloom in the morning with the rising of the sun. So he says, we have turned deaf ears to all these things. Well, the winds that are, howling or roaring during the day hours, they become very cool and calm during the evening time, like flowers who have gone to sleep during the night time. He says, now look at the expression, he's so sorry for the entire scene, for this, for everything, we are out of tune. So whether these are he's talking about the beautiful scenes that he has described in the previous lines. He says, like everything in nature, like these things, we are out of tune, we are out of harmony. We, this discord has entered into our life. There is no, balance between nature and material life. And again, look at the line, it moves us not, it does not attract us at all. These beautiful scenes in nature, they, do not now attract us. We don't feel fascinated towards them. Oh great God, I would rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. Now, pagan is a religion which existed, before Christianity. So a pagan is a follower of old faith of ancient Greece and Rome that flourished before the spread of Christianity. Suckled means nourished, brought up. In a creed outworn means in a faith which is now old, obsolete, and not, in use. So he says he would rather prefer to be a pagan, because pagan, used to believe that gods and goddesses lived in the objects of nature. So he says he would rather prefer to be a pagan rather than to be a Christian, though paganism is a creed which is no more in practice. It existed before Christianity. So he says he would have preferred to be a pagan so might I, standing on this pleasant lea is meadow. Lea is meadow. Have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. He says, then, as a pagan, he would have enjoyed those scenes of nature that would have made him feel less lonely. So, because old pagans believed in a number of deities presiding over the different objects of nature, everywhere in nature the pagan could feel the presence of these deities. Consequently, he was never lonely in a field or on a mountain or on the seashore. It is this aspect of paganism which attracts Wordsworth, the lover of nature. He says, then he would have been able to enjoy every aspect of nature, so he would prefer to be a pagan again. Paganism brought man much closer to nature than Christianity has been able to do. So, in this particular poem, you know notice the love of nature of Wordsworth love for nature. He says that we are very much engrossed with worldly affairs. We are rapidly advancing towards materialism. Wordsworth was a great lover of nature. He held love of nature and spiritualism as very important in life. In these sonnets, thus, he presents a conflict between materialism, the world, and true religion, true religious spirit. He says that the claims and concerns of this world are highly pressing, and we are ever ready to attend to worldly calls and are ever willing to sacrifice our spiritual heritage at the altar of materialism. We are all the time engrossed with the getting and spending of money. We devote most of our time in the accumulation of wealth and other material things. We do not care to remember God even for some time. Nature, with its sublime and beautiful sights, do not attract our attention. So this is basically, the present poem is an expression of his love for nature and his expression of sorrow at the fact that the people have become too much engrossed in worldly affairs. Thank you.